Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amy. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm here to share with you makeup that I really want to break up with. This is makeup that it's just not really doing it for me anymore. You know, like I have this and I own this and I use it on occasion, but it's in my life, it's taking up space, and it's not really progressing me to be a better person. So let me know below the thing that you would like to break up with the most. So I'm going to start with something of two things that I know I've already talked about on my channel that I don't really like so much. And the first one is this Physicians Formula Butter Believe It Blush, and this is Pink Sands. My main gripe about this is that it's really light and I have to build it up a whole lot, and then it barely still shows. And I'm not that deep of a skin tone, so I just, you know, it's just not, I use it on occasion as a blush topper or, you know, to kind of set a cream blush, but it's just not something that I'm really excited to have in my collection. The next thing that I would love to break up with, and this is definitely a real possibility, is the Nabla Skin Bronzing Powder, and this is the shade Amber. And my main complaint about this one is that there's constant hard pan, and it's very light. And I mean, I don't need a very deep bronzer, but it barely shows up, and you've got to build and build and build and build. And sometimes I just don't want to really work that hard. So, not really crazy about that one either. And along the same lines of just being too light for me is also this Benefit blush in Peachin'. It's very, very light, and I only use it as like a blush topper kind of situation. Like, and I'm not dark, so if it's barely showing up on me, here, I'll go ahead and show you the Pink Sands one also. So I'm just gonna kind of like swipe all over. Those things are barely showing up, and here is my bronzer. So here it is on here. And I got it in pretty deep. Like I was digging. So those things are just really not my favorite. They don't work out for me in that way. Another one I'm not crazy about right now is my Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush, and I have Seduce. And I'm not super crazy about this one for the same reason of the bronzer. It gets hard pan also. And I like the shade okay, but it's also pretty light, and because of that hard pan, I have to really like scrub in there. And the hard pan, I can scrape it away and it comes back pretty quickly. Sorry, mom life, had to deal with my daughter. Okay, now there's 4 eyeshadow things that I'm not really all that crazy about. Would love to break up with these. And if I could find somebody that would love these, I would love to give it to them. The first one is this L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow, and it's the shade Amber Rush. I like this fine. Like, it's not bad. It's just you have to unscrew the cap, and then it has this whole thing. And so, you know, again, I'm lazy and I don't like having to do that. It's so pretty though, and I do enjoy that a lot on myself. And so it's not bad. I think I don't know. I don't think that I like the whole process of unscrewing a cap and taking off a stopper and then putting the stopper back and then screwing the cap on. First world problems, right? Okay, I was never really crazy about this from the get-go. To me, this Profusion Mauves palette was just not as pigmented and wonderful as so many people said for me online. And again, you're gonna see this theme for the next at least the next 2, this one and one more. What doesn't work for me, what might work for you, and that's something that I'm learning for sure, especially with eyeshadow. And these two things is my eyelids are a little different than some people's, and these eyeshadow palettes don't work very well for me, but they might work really well for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. I do have to put eyeshadow primer on every day when I wear makeup, or my eyeshadow will not stay. So that's probably definitely part of it. So this Profusion Mauve palette, it was highly touted on YouTube. It is only $5. It was at the time anyway. And it's very pretty, but I have this Huda Beauty palette now, the new nude palette, and it's very similar kind of color scheme, and I like that one better. So I'm just not really quite sure if I need both of them. So if I could find somebody that would love that, would totally pass that along. And this is the next one that I wanted to tell you about that doesn't work for me, but it might work for you. It's the Natasha Denona Mini Love palette. These shadows do not stay on my eyes at all. Like, in about 4 hours, it's gone off of my eyes, and that's super frustrating because her palettes are so beautiful and I want to own more of them, but at the high price tag, I'm very leery about buying a big one because it's, you know, if it's not going to stay on my eyes, and I paid $75 for an eyeshadow palette, I'm a little scared. So I would love to break up with this one because just not doing it for me anymore. And the last one is one where I'm like, you know, I don't mind it. I don't mind having it. It's okay, but it just doesn't do everything that I want it to. And it's the Tartelette Jewel palette. And it's so pretty, the color scheme right up my alley, but the problem that I have is I really do have to kind of like dig into these to kind of like get them to go and show up. And then these shimmers are really more like toppers, where they don't provide much in the way of opacity. They're really meant to I think be more of a topper situation. And here's this shade, which very well could be like a shimmer too, and it has a lot more opacity in it than the other two. But you know, I don't know, that one, out of all the things that I showed, this would be the one I would be more likely to desire to keep. But the others, if they left and I could find them a better home, would certainly love that. So, hey, if you enjoyed this video and you found it somewhat helpful or relieving to listen to somebody else talk about makeup they want to break up with, I would love for you to like this video to let me know that you appreciated the work and the thought that was put into the video. And if you are interested in some project panning content, I will put a few things over here that you might be interested in. I will see you in my next video. Bye!